Okay, to turn whole number or mixed number is a fraction. 3 equals how many sixths? You can think of it in two ways. What divided by 6 equals 3, or the whole number 3 times the denominator would equal 18. So 18 divided by 6 equals 3, or 3 times 6 equals 18. Okay, with a mixed number, we look at the denominator. The denominator is not going to change, so it'll be 3 because the size of the pieces don't change. Take the whole number times the denominator plus the numerator. So 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So 1 2/3 equals 5/3. Now I'll show you how to turn an improper fraction into a mixed number. If we look at 20/4, one thing that we've talked about in class is that fractions are also division problems. So we could think of this one, 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Over here we do the same thing, and we turn it into a division problem. 57 divided by 6. There are 0 groups of 6 and 5, but there are 9 groups of 6 in 57. 9 times 6 is 54. We subtract, we get 3. There's nothing else to bring down, so it's 9, remainder 3. So now we take the whole number, and that becomes our whole number. Our remainder becomes the numerator, and the denominator, right over here, doesn't change. Now, 9 3/6 is mostly correct, like we say in class. We have to make sure that our fractions are in simplest form. So 3/6 is equal to 1/2. So the answer for this problem is 9 1/2. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to put fractions in order. And we're going to do 2/3, 3/4, and 3/5 to start. One way to put fractions into order is to create common denominators. So I'm going to find a common denominator for each of these, and the common denominator is 45. Check that mistake. The common denominator that we're going to use is actually going to be 60. Five times 12 is 60. So we had to do 3 times 12, which is 36. 4 times 15 is 60. So we have to do 3 times 15, which is 45. And then 3 times 20 is 60. So we have to do 2 times 20, which is 40. So by looking at our new fractions, we can see that 36/60 is the smallest, so that would be our first one. 40/60 is smaller than 45/60, so that would be our second one from smallest to biggest. And then 3/4 would be the third. Now another way to do that, we'll do 1 11/12, 1 3/4, and 5/7. We know without starting that 1 5/7 is the smallest, or just 5/7 is the smallest because there's no whole number. So now we look at 11/12 and 3/4. We can think about these fractions in our mind, 11/12 and 3/4. 11/12 is closer to 1 whole than 3/4 is. So we know that 11/12 is bigger than 3/4. So it would be 1 and 3/4 would be the second smallest, and then 1 and 11/12 would be the third smallest. So those are two ways we can do ordering fractions. The next section on the test is writing fractions as decimals. If we start with this one, you say 47 hundredths. Well, if we think about our place value, we know there's no whole number and then a decimal point. The hundredths place is 2 digits after the decimal, so 47 hundredths would look like that. 3/25 cannot be done like 47 hundredths because there is no place value 25ths. So we're going to create an equivalent fraction where the denominator is either going to be 10 for the tenths place, 100 for the hundredths place, or 1,000 for the thousandths place. And for this problem, 100 is the best number to pick. 25 times 4 is 100. So we have to do the same thing to the numerator. 3 times 4 is 12. So our new fraction would be 12 hundredths. Same thing, there's no whole number. There's 2 digits after the decimal place for the hundredths place. So 12 hundredths would look like that. To turn decimals into fractions, we're going to do just the opposite. We'll say the decimal, 4/10. 4/10 as a fraction would look like this, but that's not in simplest form. So we're going to simplify that. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2/5 is in simplest form, so 4/10 equals 2/5 as a fraction. Now for numbers that have a whole number and a decimal, since there's a whole number, our whole number is, we're just going to put it over there. Then we're going to take the decimal, which in this case it's 375 thousandths, and we're going to put that in simplest form. So both of those are divisible by 25. 375 divided by 25 equals 15. And 1,000 divided by 25 equals 40. Both of those can be simplified as well. Both are divisible by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. So 1 and 375 thousandths equals 1 and 3/8.